Hi everybody, Tex-Mex here. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today we're taking a look at the AIMWIN PN330 open reflex sight. Now, as always, I am not sponsored by AIMWIN. I am not in any sort of partnership with them. I don't make any money or get paid a dime to do these reviews. My channel isn't even monetized, as I've said many times before. Sometimes companies will reach out to me by email asking me if I'd like to review one of their products. Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. It just depends if it's something I'm interested in. This one seemed like a great little red dot sight, an open reflex sight, so I decided to take a look at it. And I mounted it on my P365XL. It's a Sig, so you can check right now. You see that it is empty. And the sight was able to mount directly onto my firearm. I didn't have to put any sort of plate, which is nice because it's much lower on the slide, so it's easier to see. And it does have kind of a rear sight notch here. And I'll show that here in a second. But they did send me some information so I could figure out exactly what type of sight this is or its different specifications. So it is an open reflex sight. It has a 2 MOA red dot, and it also has a 32 MOA circle size, so you can do either the dot by itself, the circle by itself, or the dot and the circle. It says it's got a aim awake mode, so I assume that means it's motion awake. So the dot color is red. It uses a CR2032 battery. Battery life is estimated at 20,000 hours. It's got 9 daylight levels and 2 night vision levels as far as brightness setting. I don't have any night vision goggles, so I'm just going to be using the brightness or the daylight levels. Let's see here. Weight is 23 grams. Its water resistance is an IPX7 rating. Its footprint is the RMSC, which is the one this Sig XL has, so that was perfect for me. And the housing material is aluminum alloy A7075-T6. So those are the features for this particular sight. I have not had a chance to shoot it yet. I did mount it on this pistol, and today we're here to sight it in. I have a target set up down there. As you can see, it is at 15 yards. I've sighted in these pistols at different distances. I was originally sighting in red dots at 25 yards. I've decided that's a little too far, at least depending on what you want to do. If you have a pistol that you're going to be shooting long distance with, then 25 yards zero isn't bad. But a 15 yards zero seems to be a best all around, depending on your sight height. And in this case, you're probably looking at about an inch. At 5 yards, you'll be a little over half an inch low. At 15 yards, you'll obviously be zeroed. At 25 yards, you'll be about a quarter inch high. And then at 50 yards, you'll be just under half an inch low. So that makes it a relatively flat shooter between 0 and 50 yards. Honestly, as a self-defense firearm, I think practically you're going to be saying 5 to 25 yards max. So that's why I figured a 15-yard zero would work the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this firearm loaded. I've got the magazines ready to go. I'm going to sight it in here at 15 yards, and once I have it sighted in, we'll go ahead and put some rounds on some steel as well and see how well this sight holds up. Now, before I get there, I did want to show a couple of things. Now, on this sight, as you can see here, it has these notches in the back. So I guess it's almost like a co-witness. Obviously, for this Sig, when you're going to put a optic on it, you actually remove the rear sight. But with this little notch here, you can actually use it as an iron sight and line it up with your front sight. So it's a co-witness. Basically, if something happens to the optic, you can still try to aim with the iron sights using this notch here as a rear sight, and then using your front sight as well. But today it's going to be all about using the red dot. I'm going to use just the dot. I'm not going to use the 32 MOA circle. I'm just going to use the 2 MOA dot. I think that's going to give me the most accuracy, and that's what I'm looking for right now. But first things first, let's go ahead and try to get it sighted in. You can see we have the elevation knob here, and we've got the windage knob here. It does come with tools to sight it in. It has tools to mount it. Bunch of different screws in the box as well, depending on the mounting system you have. So when you open the box, obviously you have instructions, a little cleaning cloth, and lots of, well, there's some mounting plates here, I guess, depending on what firearm you have, and lots of different options as far as screws, depending on what firearm you're going to mount it on. So that's really nice that it comes with all of that. Obviously, it comes with a battery as well, and it comes with these mounting screws, little Allen wrenches, and one here that's a little flathead to adjust the windage and elevation. So let's keep that one out so we can use it. Let me get this loaded up and we can start trying to see where we are on target. Now I am going to be using this shooting bag here. I'm not going to rest the pistol on the bag. I'm going to rest my hands or my arm on the bag as I shoot, because I am trying to get the most accurate shots out of this so I can adjust my sight correctly. And as far as function, you have the up button here and the down button here. To turn it on, you do a short press of the up button. To turn it off, you do a 3-second press of the down button. Now I've already turned it on and I've got the dot there. It's very, very bright. It's hard to see through the GoPro, so I can't see if you see that dot, but it's very, very bright. Should work perfectly. So let's see where we're at with our first shots here at 15 yards. Let me adjust my bucket that's my seat. Ooh. Okay, 3 rounds. Let me take it out and clear the firearm, because I don't like adjusting firearms when it has a round in it. It seems that as far as elevation, it's pretty much on target. You can see here I cleared the firearm. I could even, I guess, leave the slide open. That's not necessary, but I'll do that. So I just need to drift it over a little bit to the left. So as far as windage goes, now the interesting thing is the instructions say that it's been set from the factory at a 50-yard zero, which I think is fine if you're using it on a rifle as a kind of a backup sight on a rifle, but for pistols, I think that's just a little far out. Now there are no positive clicks. It seems just to be a friction turn. I gave it about half a turn there. That may be a little too much, but let's see. And let's see if that actually adjusts it in the right direction. I'm shooting a little low. I think I'm pushing my hands a little too far forward on this bag. Okay, I'm shooting a little lower now, but it is drifting to the left. So once again, let me clear the firearm. And this time I am going to crank it slightly up. So I'm going to elevation, I'm going to do it just a little bit up. And then once again, a little more to the left. So let me load that round back in the chamber. Oh, not back in the chamber, back in the magazine. Let's put it back in. Let's see where we're at on the target. Ooh, I may have adjusted it too much. No, that may have been me pulling it to the left a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm on. Well, let me fire a couple more rounds here. Might as well. Let's see. If I can keep them in the red, then I'll be happy. Seems to be pretty much on. Maybe hitting a little bit to the left. Oh, didn't lock back that time. I wonder if it was riding the slide release. Well, I'm using some target ammo, so it may be slightly underpowered. But yeah, it looks like it's on. I'm going to crank it just slightly back to the right, just a tiny, tiny bit. So that was fun. Now what we're gonna do is, since it seems to be sighted in pretty well at this point, and I'll give it that, this was pretty easy to get on target at 15 yards. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at some steel. For shooting the steel, I ended up loading a 15-round magazine. I got one of these 15-round magazines, got a little extension on there. So we're gonna put that into our Sig P365XL. It's a small grip. Haven't shot this pistol a whole lot. but it is very comfortable to shoot, and with this red dot, it just makes it simple. Yeah, this red dot's working nice. Oh, get that double tap. There we go. So let's try that again. Just checking to see how well this pistol is holding up. Well, how well this sight is holding up on this pistol. So far, it seems to be doing very well. Now if I could shoot better, that would help. Oh, there we go. So it seems to be holding up very well. But just to check it out, we'll put one more magazine through it. Here we are back. I've put a couple of magazines through it off camera, getting a little bit of shooter fatigue here. But it's not an excuse. I should be able to get all these rounds on target. Oh, that's 10 rounds. Now that I've put, God, how many rounds have I put through it now? That's 10, 15. I've put over 50 rounds through it with this sight on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna fire at another paper target and see if we're still on target as far as our point of aim. See if all this shooting has messed with the aim at all, just to see the durability of this sight. So now I'm gonna put 10 more rounds through it just to see if the 50 plus rounds I've put through it so far. The reason I don't know exactly how many is because I shot a few magazines off camera, and I have old 500 round pack that I bought and put into this ammo box here. So I don't have 50 round boxes of ammo to be able to be counting how much ammo I've shot through it. But let's see if it is still on target. Oh yeah. Think I'm pulling a little bit at my shot. And that's 10 rounds. A couple I jerked a little bit to the left. I mean, excuse me, to the right. And the rest are on targets. So yeah, it's on target. It's shooting great. Now today I've probably just put a little over 100 rounds through it. I'd like to put multiple hundreds of rounds through it before I give it a plus, but so far it looks like it's going that way because I've put over 100 rounds. I sighted it in, shot it at steel, and it is staying on target. Even mounted on a small little 9mm like this, it's gonna have a lot of recoil, and it doesn't seem to be messing with the sight at all. I like the brightness. I like how it mounts on the pistol, nice and low. Once again, it gives you the ability to use the front sight in case something does happen. If your battery dies, you still have the ability to use the rear notch here to sight in your pistol and get some shots off just in case your battery dies or there's some other problem. So as far as something I would use on a self-defense pistol, this AIMWIN PN330, if you have a pistol that has the RMSC footprint like the Sig XL, then yeah, it's something you certainly want to look at. It's a great option. What I'll do is I'll put a link to the product in my description. And thank you to AIMWIN for sending it to me. It was a fun test here, a great product, and I'm looking forward to using it some more. So as always, everyone, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.